Hi, friends. This is Annie Grace, and I am the author of This Naked Mind, and I am answering questions. And today's question comes from Australia, and she asks, why does it feel like living an alcohol-free life can be so lonely? I feel sort of separate from my friends and my social group, and nobody really wants to talk to me about what I'm going through, and what can I do to help it not be so lonely? So I think that there's a few answers here, and I think that, you know, first of all, loneliness can definitely, first of all, let's talk about alcohol in our culture and our society. And I think we have made a mistake and gotten ourselves a bit confused because we've done alcohol in every conceivable social situation. From, I mean, the last baby shower I was at, there was alcohol there, which of course the mom can't even drink. So it's, kind of sad for her if she's a drinker. And the last funeral I was at, there was alcohol there as well. And of course, every barbecue, every social situation, the movie theater we normally go to recently opened a line for ordering beer and wine to go to the movies. So we have made alcohol present in every social situation. And I think then it's easy for us to say, well, alcohol equates being social and being together and community. And then not drinking equals not being social and not being together and not being part of the community. And I think that's really sad because it's just not true. I mean, you don't have to look much further than kids or, societies where drinking isn't prevalent, like Hindu societies where they party for days on end for weddings and whatnot and don't drink, to know that, yeah, alcohol is part of our social life, but it's not the glue that binds us humans together. There's something much deeper than that and much more profound than that. But that being said, we are social creatures. We desperately need connection. We desperately need to be part of something. And when you're part of something involves drinking and then you don't drink, you feel like a sore thumb. You feel like the odd person out, especially if a few people make odd comments to you about how boring you're being. And then you can really internalize those things. And I can definitely relate. A friend of mine recently wrote me and was just, he had read the book and he was really thankful that he's no longer drinking. And he said the best time was when he was at the party and he was so pumped about not drinking. And then eventually all his friends got drunk enough not to realize he wasn't drinking. And then they started treating him normally. And of course, he was having just as much fun and being just as outgoing. But I think when somebody's drinking and if they feel at all uncomfortable about it, you're not drinking puts kind of a highlighter on their drinking, if that makes sense. And I think that unfortunately can create some separation, which is really difficult. But I think that there's some ways to overcome that. And first and foremost is to be 100% completely happy in your not drinking. So, vegetarians don't feel lonely. When I gave up soda, I didn't feel lonely about it. And that's because the decision was mine and mine alone. And granted, being a vegetarian or not eating meat isn't the same socially as drinking, but the decision really needs to be made completely for you. And the decision needs to be made from a place of, truly changing your perception and belief to where you realize with all of your mind that alcohol isn't doing anything for you. And so then giving it up isn't about deprivation. It isn't about missing up. It's about everything you gain, and it's about how wonderful life can be, living with a completely free mind and living with experiences without numbing them down and, all of the good stuff about it. And when you get your mind fully and completely in the right beliefs and the right mentalities about alcohol, where it becomes not I don't get to drink anymore, but I don't have to drink, then you've automatically eliminated one part of the problem. And that part is that you feel, if you're going to a bar and you're pining over the drink in somebody else's hand, you're not going to be focused on the person who's holding the drink. You're going to be focused on what you feel like you're missing out on. If you're going to the bar and you're not only not pining over the drink in somebody else's hand, but you're pretty pumped that you're drinking an iced tea and you feel secretly really happy about that, then you're going to be able to focus on the person who's drinking with really authentic conversation, and that's immediately going to create connection. So I think how you approach it and where in your heart you feel about drinking, if it's a deeply personal decision that you've made because you're happy about it, and because your unconscious mind and your unconscious beliefs about alcohol have been changed to the point where you don't even want to do it anymore, then that becomes a situation that you can build a really good social life on. Holly from Hip Sobriety, she goes out till 2, 3 in the morning all the time. She hasn't had a drink in 3 years. She's always closing down the bar, and people pretty quickly forget that you don't drink anymore when you just get right back in there and just take it on yourself to make the statement, make the declaration that drinking is not equal with social connection. And I think that's really important. So, it definitely doesn't have to be that you are lonely. And I think on top of that, just trying to get back into your normal social life and spending times with people you actually care about, there's so many communities online, and I know virtual camaraderie is not the same, but there's Hello Sunday Morning, join Club Soda. If you're a woman, there's Soberistas. There is, the Naked Mind community, thisnakedmindcommunity.com. So many places where other people are going through the exact same stuff. So I'd encourage you to join one of those and just get support. But thank you so much for the question, and I will continue answering questions. So put them in the comments or send me a message. Again, this is Annie Grace, author of This Naked Mind.